you guys doing? So I'll give you guys a second to come on into this live. As you are coming on to the live, make sure that you say hi, hello, hey, all that awesome stuff so that I can see who is on here. Those of you that are new to my page, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist for Christian female coaches who want to create more income and more impact without compromising their Christian values. I'm also a TV and radio show host. So I film and record, or we film and record the TV and radio show here in Atlanta, GA. And so, you guys, I am so glad that you guys were able to join me on here. It's been a long week. It's been a long week, but in a good way. I've had signed some new clients and then also launched the next round 4 of my revenue accelerator. So if you go on Facebook, look at the post that I had last night when I tell you I was so dead to the world. Hey, is it Jarika? Hey, Dr. Jarika. And so it's been a long week. It has, but it's been a good long week. And to be able to cap it off with the ladies in my accelerator, I'm going to highlight a couple of things, which is 2 things I'm going to talk about in this live today. And so, you guys, I'm always about us paying attention as entrepreneurs. My thing is I work with established coaches. So that means, I don't take brand new people that are like, I don't know what type of coaching business I have. I don't know who I serve. Like I don't do that. I know people who can support you in that capacity, and I can refer you over to them to help you to get that clarity that you may need in that aspect. But I work more with those coaches who are already established. Now, there's some, some of you guys have been established, but you are not generating the revenue the way that you desire. And then some of you guys, you are generating revenue, but not at the level you desire. So you may be at $10,000 months and your goal is 20. And so those are the people that usually come to me. Those that don't have that consistency the way that they want it in their business, revenue wise. And then those who are making revenue, but they want to increase the revenue that they're generating, which is, hey, whichever ones. And so with today's conversation, I want to touch on 2 things that I want you guys to make sure that you are paying attention to as an entrepreneur. Specifically, I work with Christian female coaches, so I'm going to say specifically my Christian female coaches at this point. And so this is something that I was reminded of, and this is something that we kick off with every round of my revenue accelerator. These are things that we look at because it's important for us to look at. So 2 numbers. Now, are these the only 2 numbers? No. But I just want to ask you, are you at least paying attention to these 2 numbers? 2 numbers that you do want to pay attention to in your coaching business. You want to pay attention to the number of sales calls that you have. So whether or not you do actual real sales calls via Zoom, in Messenger, that type of thing. Whatever it is that you do to bring awareness to what it is that you offer as a coach. That's what I'm referring to. Do you actually pay attention to the number of those calls that you have in a week? If you have not been paying attention to that number, you want to make sure that you start doing that from this point forward. Write it down somewhere. Because like I said, this is something that when we kick off with my accelerator, we are paying attention. They actually have to track that. They are tracking that. They're tracking those sales numbers, or the number of sales calls that they have in a week. Hey, Patricia, they're tracking that. So once again, pay attention to that. Are you paying attention to the number of sales calls? So the thing is, you were like, well, yeah, Bev, it's easy for me to pay attention to the number of sales calls because they are so sporadic. So my question is, if you are struggling to generate consistent sales calls, and like I said, I gave the definition of what I mean by sales calls. This is even just having conversations with people about your offer. That's what I'm referring to. And so for me, when I talk about a sales call, that's what it is. I'm talking about those calls in which I get on with people to discuss one of my services. This is not a coffee chat. I know that's one of the terms they use. This is not a coaching call. I don't do that. I don't do those. When I'm having a conversation with someone and I have identified that they have a need that I can support them with, then I invite them on a sales call. I don't do bait and switches. There will be people that will invite you to a coffee chat, and then they're on there trying to promote their services. Like, you guys, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, once again, having this conversation with people about your services. And once again, because you feel like you can support them. So pay attention to those numbers. If you're not generating sales calls. If you're not generating sales calls, it may be for a couple of reasons. And so we want to go through and kind of diagnose what's going on with that. And so this is one thing that, like I said, I have my clients pay attention to this so that we can figure out what the issue is. So if they're not generating sales calls, we need to get to the root of that. What's going on? So one, are we clear with our messaging on who it is that we serve and how we support them? Are we clear on that? If the answer is yes, like, yes, Bev, I get it. I know who I serve. I know the results I help them get. Okay. The next thing is going to be positioning your offer. Are you positioning what it is that you do, your offer, the problem that you solve in such a way that solves your ideal client's right now problem? Are you solving their right now problem? A lot of us, we get in our own ways because when we start talking about our offers, we revert back to what it is that we have written down on paper or what it is that we have written on the sales page, but it's not connecting with the people that you serve. It's not connecting with them. So they're just like, okay, yeah, I don't need that. Whatever it is, I don't need it. So you want to make sure, and I say this all the time, pay attention to your verbiage, pay attention to the words. I know we feel like we're right about everything and we have everything all figured out and all solved, but sometimes you need to stop talking and pay attention to what it is that your people are saying that they need. Pay attention to it. And so I always use this example, in the coaching realm sphere, we talk about leads, the number of leads that you have. Pay attention to your leads, to your leads, to your leads, to your leads. But when my clients come to me, they're not saying, Bev, I need to generate more leads. They're saying, Bev, I need more clients. I need more clients. So you know what? I don't say, well, hey, you know what? I'm going to help you generate leads. Although it's the same thing. But if I say that to them, they're like, okay, that's not what I need. So that's what I mean when I say pay attention to what it is that your people are saying that they need support with. Don't just automatically, we kind of translate it in our own minds and then spit it back out to them in the way that we translated it. And what that does, it makes them think that you're not listening to them, that you're not paying attention, that you can't help them to solve their problem. So pay attention to the words that you are using when you're talking to your ideal clients. If you're not able to book sales calls, if they're not interacting and engaging with your content, it does not mean put out more content like that. We need to get to the root of what's going on. Some of you guys have been spinning your wheels. It's like you've been on a hamster wheel type of thing with, once again, putting the content out. You show up every day. You show up every day. You email your list once a week. You get on your lives, all of that stuff. But people are not responding to the call to action. So like I said, one of the reasons that could be is because you're not clear on who you serve. The second reason is you're not positioning your offer in such a way that it's something that they want. They don't see it as a way of solving their problem. Or you're trying to solve a problem that's not a problem for them. In your mind, it's a problem because it was a problem and an issue for you. But they're just like, I don't need help with that. That's not my issue. I'm not struggling with that. That's not a problem for me. That is not a problem for me. And so they're not going to buy your offer if they don't feel like you're going to be able to solve their problem. If what you're offering, if they're looking at it and they're like, okay, yeah, no, I don't need help with that, then they're not going to invest in that. So you have to make sure that you are paying attention to the words that you are using. Make sure that you are solving their right now problem, that type of thing. So like I said, pay attention to the number of sales calls. If you're not booking sales calls, more than likely one of three reasons. Like I said, you're not crystal clear on who it is that you serve and how you serve them. You're not positioning your offer in a way that solves their right now problem where they feel like they need that thing right now. Or once again, you're trying to solve a problem for them that's not a problem. Like they don't see that as a problem. They don't see it as a problem. So we have to go through and analyze it. That's what I said with my accelerators. That's one thing they have to pay attention to, because we have to see if you're going weeks and weeks and weeks without sales calls, we have to figure out what's going on. We have to figure out what's going on with that. So like I said, we have to get to the root of that. Now, some of you guys are having conversations with people, like you're having conversations with people and they're expressing it to you and they're telling you, well, hey, is this, and this. And what their pain points are, what their struggles are. They're like, hey, yeah, girl, yeah. Like they're on your lives and they're amening and, oh my God, this is good. This is awesome. This is great. You hop over there messaging. Yeah, I am struggling with that. But then when it comes time to either hop on a sales call or to actually talk to them, you can close them in message if you want to. They're not moving forward. So this is a couple of reasons why they're not moving forward. So you guys, I'm giving you all the I'm telling you what's going on. Now, whether or not you pay attention to it, completely different story. But I'm telling you, these are the reasons. So you have to pay attention to what they're saying. So once again, if they're telling you that this is an issue, this is a struggle, and then when it comes time to move forward, they're not moving forward. So one reason could be is that they don't see the value, your price point compared to what it is and how it is that you're explaining what they receive. And so what I mean by that, remember I talked earlier about how you're positioning your offer. So when they're actually listening to what it is that you're saying that you can support them with, it's not making sense to them. Like they're not able to put those two together. Like they're looking at the investment versus what it is that you're saying that they get, and they're like, okay, hold on, that's not quote unquote worth it. So then that's when they say, I need to think about it. Oh, let me go pray about it, because I'm talking to Christians, so we hear that all the time. You already prayed about it. That's how we ended up on this call to begin with. But once again, one of those, they're not, so it's not, you're not positioning that offer in such a way to where they're like, boom, I need it. Let's go. So you want to pay attention to that. So if you're hearing people say, I need to think about it and I need to pray about it, 99.9% of the time, that's the reason why they don't see the value in what it is that you're offering. Once again, they're not seeing the value. So once again, the way that you're explaining it. So one, it could be that you're just not clear on how you're explaining your offer. So what it is with my clients, I literally have them go through, and every time, each resource that they have, there are certain things that they have to have when they're talking about their resources, certain things that they have to talk about whenever they have the modules mapped out. Because once again, it one allows them to be able to talk clearly and fluently about their offer, but it also helps them to see the value that they're offering their people. So if all you're just doing is listing the resources that you include, and all you're doing is just saying week 1, you work on mindset, week 2, we're going to work on I don't know, your resume, tweaking your resume. Week 3, we're going to do mock interview. Like, that's not how you want to label that stuff. So like I said, there's a certain way that even when you're mapping out your offer, you want to make sure that you have it mapped out in a certain way to where it makes sense to you. Like I said, it's easy for you to talk about it, that type of thing. Another reason why they may be saying, I need to think about it, I need to pray about it, that thing there. So like I said, either they're not seeing the value, or once again, you slip back into coach talk. So you're describing the things, that you're saying a bunch of stuff. So you are talking, you're talking to fill the air, you're talking. But the thing is, what you're saying is not connecting, it's not resonating with them, because you're using your own coach talk versus what it is that they said that they needed support with. So that's one. That's the second thing. Once again, if people are telling you, I don't have the funds, 99.9% of the time, that's not it. It's not that they don't have the money. That's not what it is. It goes back to them not seeing the value in what it is that you're offering, them not completely understanding, okay, wait a minute, I'm not sure that's not really what I need. That's not really what, no, that's not it, ma'am, that's not it. So that type of thing. So that ties back to that. And so, like I said, are there some people who don't have it? Yeah, there are some people who legit don't have it. But once again, it's not the majority of the time. They don't see the value. So they're not going to invest in that thing. And I promise you, they'll run across a coach that offers something similar to you, and it's priced higher, and they'll actually go and work with that other coach at a higher price point. That type of thing, because that coach knew how to position the offer. That coach knew how to speak to the offer. A lot of you guys, when you're talking about your offer, it's like verbal diarrhea. You're telling them everything that they get. People don't need all that information up front. They don't need it all. They do not need all that information up front. If they're telling you that they're struggling with 1, 2, 3 things, I'm struggling with this, and this. When you talk about your offer, if it's including that, don't make us. I'm talking to believers, so we're not operating outside of integrity in that stuff. But if they're saying that they need support with this, and this, and you offer that, then let them know. Yep, in my program, we're going to work on this, and this. I don't have to give them all of that other stuff, because what you're doing is trying to justify the price. So if I tell them they get this, they get this, they get this, they get this, because now in their mind, they're like, okay, well, I really don't need all of that stuff. And so once again, now they have to think about it. Now they got to go pray about it, because it was information overload. You gave them too much information all at one time. They don't need to know all that information. As a matter of fact, some of the ladies who joined my accelerator, they didn't know until they got on the call today some of the other stuff that they got as a part of the program. There was no need for me to explain and roll out every single thing during the calls that I was having for them. There was no point in me telling them all of that stuff. During our conversation, I talked to them about how the program was going to be able to support their particular need, what it was that they needed support with. All the other stuff that they got, the bonuses and all that stuff like that, that was just icing on the cake. And they didn't even know, some of them didn't even know about it until we were on the call today. So we have to pay attention to what it is and what it is that we're saying to the people as we're having conversations about our offers, about our programs. Okay. So, like I said, the first thing, pay attention to the number of sales calls. That is one thing that you want to pay attention to. The second thing that you want to pay attention to is the number of times that you're actually inviting people to work with you. The number of times that you're actually saying, so the call to action where you're actually asking for the sale, where you're actually asking for the sale. Pay attention to the number of times. If you're not tracking it, you need to track it somewhere. I'm telling you, look, because my thing is, my people are entrepreneurs. So as entrepreneurs, one of the things that you do, you have to pay attention to your numbers. Hey, CC, you have to pay attention to your numbers. If you're not paying attention to your numbers, you guys, I'm telling you, let me say this. If you're not paying attention to your numbers, I can almost guarantee you're not hitting your revenue goal. I can almost guarantee you that. I can almost guarantee you that. Because you guys, part of being an entrepreneur, you have to pay attention to your numbers. If you're not, that's part of why you're not hitting your revenue goal. I'm going to be real honest. You have to track this stuff. So once again, pay attention to the number of times that you're actually asking for the sale. Because the thing is, it's going to be one or two reasons why you're not asking for the sale. One or two reasons. So you're getting on calls with people, but you're not extending anything to them because you're like, okay, this person is not the right fit. I don't want to work with this person. This person is not the right fit. This person is not my ideal client. And then you don't even extend the offer to them. They're not the right fit. So there's no point in extending it to them if they're not the right fit. So then now the issue with that is we have to get to and see why we're not getting qualified leads on our calls. So once again, you can have leads, but we want to have qualified leads to get on our sales calls. We want to get on sales calls with qualified leads. Does that make sense? And so you guys, my close rate is high, 90%. Because if I get on a call with someone, 90% of the time, I'm going to close them. Why? Because they're qualified leads. So I'm not getting on the phone with just anybody. I pre-qualify them. So whether or not they have to answer my pre-qualifying questions before, when they schedule a call. So if you ever click on that link, www.callwithbeverly.com, if you ever click on that link, there are questions that you have to answer. These are my pre-qualifying questions. Or if we're having a conversation in Messenger, once again, I will go in and I will have a conversation. I'll have a dialogue with you. So someone reached out to me the other day about working with me. And they were like, Bev, I really want to work with you. I still ask them those pre-qualifying questions. Just because they want to work with me doesn't mean that they're a good fit. So you want to make sure that you are asking those questions. And even with that person, I want to say she reached out to me on a Monday. We didn't finish up our conversation until Wednesday. You don't want to be in that mode of being so desperate to sign a client. So once again, I just carried at that conversation. We went back and forth for about 3 days. But I had to ask those questions. So the same thing, when you're paying attention to the number of offers that you're making, if you're not making people offers, like I said, this is one or two reasons. So one or two reasons is, one, like I said, you're not getting on calls with qualified leads. They're not qualified. So then the question is, what are you doing to pre-qualify people? Now, hear me on this. Now, some of you guys, if you're just starting out, so, if you're newer to this, then yeah, get on sales calls. That's fine. Like, that's what I did when I first started. I just got on sales calls. I didn't even have pre-qualifying questions. I just wanted to get on calls with people, see what was going on, see what their pain points are. Because remember, sales calls is also amazing market research. Sales calls are amazing market research. Now, I was getting on calls with leads with leads. Now, I was doing that. I wasn't getting on calls with people who were trying to open a bakery downtown. That's not my ideal client. But I was getting on calls with people at that point. When I first started, I was working with females who wanted to start an online business. So I was getting on calls with women who wanted to start an online business. But all women who want to start an online business are not my ideal clients. But I was getting on calls with them so that I could see what their pain points are, what their issues were, what their struggles were, all of that stuff, because you use that in your marketing. And so I remember when I did that, one of the first sales coaches I ever had, one of the things that caught my attention or reeled me in were her emails. Her emails were powerful. And I remember telling people, like, oh my gosh, read her emails. Her emails are amazing. Oh my God, they draw you in the way that she did. Absolutely powerful emails. And so I remember one of the biggest compliments I have learned I have learned the pain points and I wasn't aware of by talking on consultation. Yes. And so you guys, let me tell you. So one of the biggest compliments I got from that sales coach was when she complimented me on my copy. When she, like I said, that was what drew me into her because she had powerful copy. So when she said to me, Bam, the way that you write this post, Bam, that is absolutely amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that was when I realized that all of those sales calls that I was doing, me paying attention to what it is that my ideal client was saying, that it paid off. Because when she noticed it, I was like, whoa, okay, that's really cool. And so that's one of my strong points is the copy that I write. So when we talk about copy, just whatever it is you post on social media, email, so on and so forth. And so that was one of the biggest compliments that I got from her. And even later, I wanted someone to help me. I wanted a copywriter to help me to write some emails for me, some emails nurture sequence. So when someone opts into your freebie, then there should be a series of emails that go out. And so I wanted him to help me to revise the ones that I had. The same thing when he got them, he was like, I have 2 or 3 suggestions for you. He said, but nothing, your copy is fine. And the reason why I was able to get to that point was because of like what I'm talking about. The stuff, the questions that people were asking me on sales calls, the things that they said that they were challenged with, I record my sales calls. So I let them know, hey, I don't really record a whole lot of them now, but back then I was recording my sales calls and I said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and record the call and then I'll send you a copy of this after our call. Boom. Or now if you use Zoom, if they log in from a computer, you can actually give them the ability to record, allow them to record and just say, hey, now you can record on your end. So that way you don't have to wait on us to send you the recording. This will go wherever your Zoom downloads go. This recording will go there. And so once again, that way there, I'm not even sending replays anymore. And so that was the powerful piece. So I would go back and listen back to those sales calls. Once again, when I'm in Facebook groups, you guys pay attention to the Facebook groups that you're in that have your ideal clients. Pay attention to the Facebook groups that you are in that have your ideal clients. Pay attention to the questions that they are asking. Write down the questions that they are asking. That is your content. That is what you want to use. That is what you want to use. So like I said, you're going to have a better way of getting more qualified people on call. So pay attention to the content that you're putting out there. So if you're putting out content and it's resonating with your people, then they're going to respond to your call to action. So if the call to action is to schedule a call, make sure that you have pre-qualifying questions so they go through and answer those pre-qualifying questions. Or you can ask them, you can pre-qualify them in Messenger. All platforms now pretty much have a messenger feature on there. Have a conversation with them in Messenger. Kind of pre-qualify them in there. If you feel like they are a good fit from there, then hey, let's go ahead and either you can say, hey, let's hop on a call, or you can say, well, hey, I want to go ahead and extend the offer to them in Messenger. So either way it goes, you can close it at either one of those places. So like I said, one of those reasons that you may not be extending calls is because you're not getting on calls or extending your offer or asking for the sale. One, you may not be getting on calls with qualified leads. So we need to make sure you're getting on there with qualified leads. The second reason why you may not be making your offers out of fear. You're afraid. So you don't even ask people for the sale. You don't even invite them on the sales call. You guys, once again, one of the 2 numbers you need to pay attention to are the number of offers that you're making, not the offers in your program, but where you're actually asking them to work with you, actually asking for the sale. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that. If you're not asking for the sale, you guys, you should not go weeks and weeks. You should not go 1 week without asking somebody for the sale. It's one thing to put a link out there. I'm not talking about you putting a link out there to your course. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about putting a link out there to your course. I am talking about you having a conversation with people about your program, especially if you're using organic strategies. Now, if you're running ads to a webinar and then in the webinar it has the link and you're booking sales calls that way, that's a completely different story. I'm not talking about that. But if you're not closing sales, if you're not booking sales calls, there is a breakdown every single week. If you have openings for a group program or your one-on-one, you should be booking sales calls every single week. I tell my clients, you should be either closing a sale or in the process of closing a sale, having conversations with people where you're either closing a sale or in the process of closing a sale every single day. You should have leads, qualified leads. Do you have qualified leads coming through? So you guys, that's what I'm talking about. So those two numbers for this particular broadcast that I'm talking about, pay attention to the number of sales calls that you are booking in a week. Pay attention to the number of times that you're actually asking for the sale. Period. Those are two things that you have to pay attention to as an entrepreneur. Specifically, I'm talking to Christian female coaches. So if you don't know those numbers, you get your systems in place. Get a system in place to help you track that stuff. You cannot just continue to go. Because like I said, those of you that are not paying attention to these numbers, I'm pretty certain you're also not hitting your revenue goal. I'm pretty certain of that. Because there are certain things that you need to pay attention to. Once again, these two things, the number of sales calls that you're making, the number of times you're actually asking for the sale. Of course, if we know another number you should be paying attention to is the actual sales, the revenue that you're bringing in, that's a given. But these are two numbers that people don't pay attention to. But once you start paying attention to those numbers, that makes a huge difference. So you need to set that goal of the number of times that you're going to, because once again, pay attention. There should be a goal of the number of people each week you're going to ask for the sale, those conversations that you're going to have each week. Those are things that you can control. You can control the number of people that you reach out to. You can control that. Now, you can't control whether or not they say yes to get on a call with you. You can't control whether or not they're going to say yes to your offer, but you can control the outreach that you do. Well, babe, I don't have time to do outreach. That's fine. Then what are you doing to market your business? What are you doing to market your business? If you're running ads, cool. If you're running ads, that is perfectly fine. Is it working? If it's working, perfect. If it's not working, what's the point? Trying to run ads or boost a post, you guys, that's not how you get clients. Especially if you lack clarity. Now, once again, do Facebook ads, do ads work? Yes. Yep. Ads do work. Ads work. But some of you guys are trying to run ads and do ads and boost stuff, and you don't have the knowledge of what it takes to do that stuff. I was talking to a client, one of my new clients. And so when she came to me, hey, Allegra, one of my new clients, she was like, yeah. So I did a post yesterday on Facebook. And so on my post, I said, this new client, she was working with the coach. She has been stuck for the past year in her business. She has been stuck. So when she came to me, she did not know who she served. She did not know how to describe what it is that she did. She didn't even know what to call herself. In a matter of 2 hours, we defined who she served, the results she helped her people get. We got her offer. We got her signature framework. All of this stuff in a matter of 2 hours. It don't have to take you a year and a half to figure out. No. But the thing is, some of us, so when she came to me, like I said, she didn't have clarity on who she served, the results she helped people get. She was like, but yeah, my coach told me to set up a webinar. So and she showed me the opt-in page for the webinar. She was like, yeah, they're going to go through, they're going to watch this webinar. And then when they watch the webinar, then, it was a pre-recorded webinar. And then the webinar is going to have a link for them to schedule a call. And I was like, but you don't know, you're not clear on who you serve and the results you help people get. What were you talking about in the webinar? She was like, yeah, that was one of the things that I was stuck on. Like, it took me about 6 months to figure out what I was going to talk about in my webinar. And you guys, it's stuff like that perplexes me. So once again, if I'm lacking the clarity on who I serve and the results I help people get, what's the point of doing a webinar? Why are we telling people to set up? Because like I said, all her stuff, it was beautiful. But it was you. She wasted so much time. She wasted so much money. I'm like, I don't understand. It made zero sense to me. So like I said, she followed what the coach told her to do. She followed that. But like I said, she was missing some foundational stuff where her doing that. So like I said, if someone is saying, set up a webinar, but you're not clear on who you serve. If someone says, okay, go to Pinterest and set up a Pinterest page, but you're not clear on who you serve, you don't blog. Someone says, no, set up a YouTube page. So you go and set up a YouTube page. Someone says do webinars. Someone says do a challenge. But if you're lacking clarity, all of that stuff is useless and pointless. I sent a quick email to my list yesterday asking how can I support you and mentioning some pain points I can help them with. One person did reach out to me who has been on my list for a while. You guys, and I know that they say email marketing is dead and all that stuff. That's not true. Email marketing is not dead. But there are things you want to make sure, you guys, first of all, Going back to talking about numbers. Are you paying attention to your numbers even with your email list? Do you know your open rate? Do you know your click-through rate? You guys, there are numbers that you should be paying attention to. I had one of my clients like, "Bam, my open rate is only 30%. You do realize that's actually good, right? So that's like, you guys, we have to be knowledgeable. Just like when you were in your career and you had professional development to stay abreast of what was going on in your industry, it's the same thing as an entrepreneur. It's the same thing as you as a coach. So if you're using email marketing, then you need to make sure that you know and understand the numbers and the stats and all of that stuff when it comes to email marketing. If you're on a social media platform, you need to make sure that you know and understand. For instance, that's a really good open rate. So I went ahead because I'm getting back on Instagram. I'm like, hey, because hey Monique, because I'm a little bit more active on Clubhouse. So I said, okay, well, let me step up my Instagram game. And so I ended up following the creators page over there on Instagram because I need to know what's going on. That's how come I know what was going on with the reels. That's how come I knew what was going on with the hashtags and all that stuff. You guys, you have to stay abreast of what's going on in your industry as an entrepreneur. You cannot plead ignorance. You cannot. So every day I am doing something in my business for professional development. I have to stay on top. Just like when I taught, we had to have what was those things? PLUs? Was that what it's called? I've been out of class for 5 years. I think they were called PLUs, professional learning units. So every year we had to go through and do trainings and stuff like that. And that just stuck with me, period, as a teacher, because every year we had to do that because it had to go towards your certification. You had to have a certain number of hours in order for you to get certified every year. And so I had to go in, and that just stuck with me that I needed to make sure that I was clear. Now, do I know everything about everything? No, but I know enough. I know enough to be able to have a conversation. So like I said, some of you guys, you're trying and you're doing stuff in your business. Like I said, it's not even making sense for where you are at your business right now. Exactly. Yes. And so you guys, I just wanted to have this conversation to ask you about those two things. Please make sure that you know these two things. So if you're just hopping on here, make sure you go back and catch the replay. If you're just hopping on here, go back and catch the replay. Pay attention to those two things because I broke down why it was important for you. I don't know who's texting me like that, but it's important for you to know those two things like that. So please make sure that you know those two things. Because like I said, that is something that I have my client, like I said, we kicked out the revenue accelerator today. And so those ladies, that is something that they have to pay attention to. They have to pay attention to those numbers. When we come in there with my programs, you guys, we're running the business. We are running the business. I don't work with people who are treating their coaching business as a side hustle, a side hobby, whatever those things you call. No, these people don't understand that God has called them to this business and they're running it like a business, or they want to run it like a business if they're not already doing that. Okay. So you guys, that's all that I have for today. So I said I wanted to hop on here. This has been a long, crazy week for me, but it's been an amazing week. It has been an amazing week because we like I said, we kicked off the accelerator. So I had to make sure that I was on point and then onboarding some new clients and hiring people. It's been an interesting week. It's been a very interesting week. So hiring some folks and all of that stuff. And so you guys, like I said, I'll share with you guys that in this season, God has been really on me about building community and making sure that I am the people that I have been called to serve. The people that have been called to serve, making sure that I am serving them, making sure that they have what they need to be successful. Now, I can't make them do the thing, but I can supply them with all the resources that they need to be successful. And that's definitely what I'm doing. So once again, those of you that are in my free Facebook group, first of all, if you're not in my free Facebook group, go ahead and join us. My Facebook group is called Highly Successful Christian Female Coaches and Consultants. Highly Successful Christian Female Coaches and Consultants. So if you're over there on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you're on any of the other platforms, you see the name of it right below my face. So go ahead and, you can join us over there in the Facebook group. So that's another part. I've been showing up a lot more in my Facebook group over there because that's one of my communities. That's my community. So I'm building over there. Those of you that are in my academy, if you were in my academy, so my academy is equivalent to a membership. If you are in my academy, once again, pay attention to the changes that are coming to my academy because my academy was geared for those coaches to start creating consistent $3,000 to $5,000 a month. So if you're not generating $3,000 to $5,000 a month, you need to check out my academy. And so even with that academy, we're going back to our live master classes. So make sure that you mark your calendars. Those the events have been all set up. So if you are in my academy, make sure that you have marked your calendar. So the second Monday of the month will be for strategy. So second Monday of the month, there will be something about strategy. Either myself or a guest expert will be in there teaching those second Monday master classes. So you're going to be provided with the strategy. And then the third Monday of the month, there is a money mindset coach that is coming in to do her class, do her session. Because once again, I'm giving you the strategy, but we have to make sure that our mindset is on point to be able to actually implement what it is that we're having. Because a lot of us know what to do in our business. We're just not doing it. So we need to figure out what's going on. If you're not generating the revenue, if you're not hitting your revenue goal, we need to get to the root of the reason why you're not hitting your revenue goal consistently. We need to get to the root of that. We need to get to the root of that. So I just see in my community, this is me paying attention to my community. I saw that there was a need. So I had to hire someone on my team. I had to hire someone, and now she will be in there the third Monday of the month working on mindset. And then after that, the fourth Monday of the month, I have a sales strategist that's coming in specifically. So think about it. You're going to get the strategy on the second Monday of the month. Then the third Monday of the month, we're going to make sure that your money mindset is on point. And then the fourth Monday of the month, we're bringing in someone to help you to increase your sales. So once again, it's very strategic in the way that we have it mapped out. So there will be zero excuses for those that are in my academy. Once again, generating $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Now, I have 5-figure owners in my academy, and they're staying there. They're there. They're there. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere, which is cool. So once again, that's a space in place. So if you have not generated that consistency in your revenue like that, get into my academy. Get into my academy. We will have everything in there that you need. We will also have sessions in there where they're just planning sessions. So you can come in there, you can work on your content, you can come in there and work on your revenue generating activities. So that way we don't have any, babe, I ain't had time, babe, I wasn't able to do this, babe, I didn't know how to map out my content. We're eliminating all that stuff. We're setting you up for success because this is what it is that God has taught. This is how God has asked me to support my people, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now. I'm like, okay, God, whether or not they take me up on it, that's a different story. But they will have zero excuses and zero reasons to not be able to hit their revenue goal. So like I said, that is what's going on in my academy. So if you are in my academy, pay attention because that stuff, those events were posted sometime today and all of that stuff. We're going to get back in there, paying attention to our LinkedIn pages. So we're going to do activities with LinkedIn. We're going to do activities with Facebook, and we're going to do activities with Instagram. So if you are in that academy, pay attention to what's coming out in the academy. And then, like I said, today we started with my accelerator. Absolutely amazing. This is the really cool part. So at the end of the session today, I told my accelerators to write one word, type in one word in the chat that you got, from our first session today. Just type in one word to describe our session for today. Let me tell you how good God is. So that's all I said. I just said, type in one word to describe this session. Why did every last one of them type the exact same word? Every last one of them typed the exact same word. And for a second, when I saw all the answers pop up, I said, did you guys just copy each other? But then when you look at the timestamp, they all typed it in the exact same time. I said, look at God. And so two of them went ahead and typed a different word. So they saw that we were putting the same word. So they typed a different word. Those two hit enter at the same time. Why did they type the exact same two words? There were two different words. So when I tell you guys, I'm telling you, God is up to something, and I'm here for all of it. I'm here for, well, God just tell Bev, show up and serve your people. Okay, God, I'm going to show up and serve my people. I'm going to show up and serve my people. God, I don't always know the answers to everything. But when I show up, when I'm obedient, that's what ends up happening. Everything is in alignment. Even I'm in alignment with the people that I serve. When I tell you, it was so crazy, not crazy in a bad way. It was just really, I was like, wow, like all we could do. I wish I might just play the clip of that. I might just bring that piece of clip right there from that part of the session, because we were literally all like, whoa, did we just all really type in the exact same word at the exact same time? And to me, I just felt like that was a God nod. Like I really felt like he was telling me, yeah, daughter, you being obedient. Yeah, that's what I felt like that was about. So like I said, I'm telling you, I'm putting in all the pieces to play in the play. I'm giving you all the resources. Now, whatever you choose to do with it, that's a completely different story. That's a completely different story. Hey, Shar said, what was the word? So one of the words, the first word that everybody typed was inspiring. That was the first word that they typed. I said, okay. And then, like I said, the other, so once everybody typed that word, then like I said, then the other two, I didn't tell them to type a different word. That was the other funny part. I didn't tell them to type a different word, but two of them chose to type in another word. I guess because they saw the other word was the same. And then, like I said, they went ahead and boom, they typed in. Those two ended up picking the exact same word. They had the similar word. It was just amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you so much, Monique. So like I said, you guys, if you need support with where you are in your business, once again, all I can do is put it out there of how I can support you. All I can do is I can tell you how I can support you. That's all that I can give you. But I'm telling you, this is the vision that God has given me for the academy. This is the vision that he's given me for the academy. So I'm going to run with it. Yeah, Monique. Yep. So get back into that academy. And you guys, once again, you guys, those of you that are in the academy, like I said, if you want access to that mindset coach, if you want access to that sales strategist, get on in there. Like I said, we got it all set up. We are setting you guys up for success for the rest of 2021. I'm telling you, there will be no reason for you not to be able to hit your revenue goal in 2021. Whatever you have for the rest of quarter four of 2021. I'm telling you, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes, Monique, blow the dust off that damn folder. Blow the dust off that folder. All right, you guys, that is all that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Friday evening, or Friday evening my time. I really and truly do appreciate you guys. Once again, if you have questions for me, feel free to reach out to me. I know I've been I haven't been as available this week just because of everything that has been going on with my new clients and then the new program launching type of thing. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this wonderful Friday evening. You guys, like I said, if you have any specific questions for me, if you're interested in the academy, just go to www.beverlyacademy.com. www.beverlyacademy.com. The payment for the academy, you have a couple of options. Right between now and the end of 2021, from now into the end of 2021, you can get into the academy for $19.97 lifetime access. Don't have to pay another penny after that. $19.97, $1,997, and it's not $19.97. $1,997, and that will give you lifetime access to my academy. After 2021, the lifetime option goes away. I'm not offering lifetime because it's too much. Look at what I'm telling you guys, everything that's coming in there. There's no way that I can continue just to give that away for $2,000. I can't do that. Not for a lifetime. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. So once again, at the end of 2021, that lifetime option goes away. You will never see that again with my academy because it's way too much information, way too much value in there for me to say, hey, you can have it for $2,000 and you can stay in here forever and ever and ever. I can't do that anymore. Okay, that's the you can pay $197 a month. You can pay $197 a month until you just stop paying. So it's $197. You can cancel anytime you want to. So $197 a month until the end of 2021. And at the end of 2021, so in 2022, it goes up to $297 a month. It goes up to $297 a month. And like I said, you just keep paying it until you stop. Also, if you choose to, in 2022, if you want to pay in full, then it will be $2,500, but you have to re-up that every year. So every year you will have to pay $2,500 every year. So my thing is, if you're going to get in now. So that way, you have lifetime access if you want to do the lifetime access, or if you want to do the $197 a month, because whatever rate you lock in when you come in monthly, then that's what you'll lock in. So if you come in at $197, then it stays $197. If you come in $197, it stays $197. Okay. And so you guys, like I said, the session that we're having in October, the strategy session about your offer. If you have questions about your offer, if you don't know what to put in your offer, if you're trying to figure out why people are not buying your offer, we are working on your offers in October. That's what we're working on October. We do it workshop style. That's another different thing too. The strategy session is workshop style. So it will be workshop style. So I told them, bring your offer. Like, don't come here just expecting me to read off a PowerPoint. We're not doing that. Bring your offer so that we can go through and look at your offer. I tell you guys, I ask my clients 5 questions. With those 5 questions that I ask them, it shifts their mindset. They know how to position their offer. And a lot of the times they end up raising their pricing. So if you're struggling and you know that your price point is too low, that's another thing. So when we get done in August with this August session, which is the second Monday, so not this Monday, but the following Monday, when we get done in Monday, you will know exactly what you need to have in your offer. You will know exactly how to position it, period. And then in November, we're going to look at the price point, because a lot of you guys, for some of you guys, after October session, you're going to end up raising your price anyway. But in November, we're going to specifically talk about your pricing. Some of you guys, the reason why you're not hitting your revenue goal is because of your pricing. You're pricing yourself out of your revenue goal. So if you know what to put in your offer and how to position it, when it comes to the price point, you can add an additional $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 to it, and you'll be able to sell it. That's the thing, because there's no point in raising the price if you can't sell it. There's no point in doing that. So by the time you get done, October and November, you will have that offer that you will be able to sell, period. Because remember, I'm bringing in the money mindset coach and the sales strategist. So there will be zero reason for you not to be able to sell your offer. And then December, we always end the year with what we call a 2022. So whatever the next year is, 2022 profit planning session. So we always end with a profit planning session. So we're going to look at your revenue goal, what you want to set for 2022, and then we're going to map out exactly what you need to do to get there, period. Okay? So you guys, like I said, thank you so much. If you're interested in my academy, go to www.beverlyacademy.com, www.beverlyacademy.com. Everything I just said is on there. Go ahead and hop on in here now. 1, to lock in the rate. 2, to be able to get these sessions that we're getting ready to end the year with. Once again, if you do the monthly for only $197 for less than $200, you get access to me, the business strategist, a sales strategist, and a mindset coach. I don't know where else they're doing it, but hey, whatever. Okay. So you guys, yes, those profit planning sessions, I love those. And I'm going to tweak it this year, Monique. I'm always bringing something a little bit different. I'm tweaking it this year. I'm tweaking the profit planning session this year. So it's going to be really cool. So once again, those strategy sessions that we have the second Monday, they're more like workshop style. So once again, it's not just a sit and get, it's workshop style, that type of thing. Conversations, breakout groups, all of that stuff. So that's the really cool part. Okay. All right, you guys, once again, have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. Have a fabulous weekend. If you have a specific question for me, feel free to reach out to me. And I'm not going to answer you back tonight because it's 9 o'clock on a Friday. But go ahead. You can still send it to me in a message. If you're interested in the academy, go to www.beverly, my name, Beverly Academy. I'm making it easy. Beverly Academy. Don't put an S in there. It's not Beverly's Academy, just beverlyacademy.com. Okay? All right, you guys. Thank you. Have an absolutely amazing rest of your day and a fabulous weekend. I will see you guys on the other side of this live. Take care.